Welcome to Sickled channel. This is my weekly review on pairs, weekly projection. So here we are on EURUSD on weekly time frame. So on my last video I marked out this candlestick. If you have been with me or have been watching my video, I do talk about an indecisive candlestick as candle I mark out as a range. So right here, the low have been taken and the high have currently been taken. But the way the candle is looking, we're supposed to start selling, but the candle is looking bullish. So I would love to go to the higher time frame to see what the monthly actually printed. So if you go up to the monthly, right here on the monthly, we have the previous month which is April, taking March's high. So we're expecting April low to be taken and March low to be taken. Looking at the monthly, already looking like accumulation, this manipulation. We have gotten a little distribution, but I think maybe we should get more distribution. Should be more distribution right here. So let's just go down straight to, if you go down to the weekly, right on the weekly, it's actually kind of forming a range. But just looking at the candlesticks, it took this high and closed below, but it's bullish. So the candle closed bullish, but it closed inside this range, which is making me to think that it's going to sell. Then here on the daily, I have this candlestick right here. This candlestick right here that took the high, that weekly high. And even though this printed bullish, but we still have these candles inside, so I think we should still sell, except we take out this, or the market may decide to move up to 50% of this week. 50% of this week. Or if you get closed entirely, then I think we should continue buying. And the 4 hours, on the 4 hours, if I have the same thing, all these are just range. All these are range until this market takes out this high. That is when I'll stop being bearish on this market. That is when I'll stop being bearish on this market on the long term. But you can see, look for a short term buy. So the retracement into this fair value gap, which actually make the market to buy. Then on the 2 hours, we have, let me take away this gun box. On the 2 hours, we have this fair value gap. I have this nice fair value gap right here, which is already looking like as if we have been mitigated. We had a fair value gap right there. Maybe the market could still manipulate it and sell from there, because this is now a previous week high. This is now a previous week high, and this inducement right here, fair value gap right here, could serve as it could sell from there. Market could sell from there, and this previous week high, so it serves as inducement for that fair value gap. And when you go to the 1 hour, on the 1 hour, you still have the same thing. Go to the 15, that's where you'll be fetching your entries from though. So yes, just Friday was NFP. So all this movement is looking forced. It's looking like something that is being forced. So next week I'm still anticipating sell overall on EURUSD. So let me go to my next pair, which is Gbpusd. So here we are on Gbpusd. So Gbpusd, I've been calling on this load to be taken out, but they have not yet been taken out since then. So if you have been following me or you watched my profit journal, I talked about Gbpusd like returning to a high that is swept, which is this high right here. We may get something. If it's going to sell, I think it should sell from there. We should get something like this moving into this area, then selling from here, which you could still get a little bit of reaction, then you go down here. Not the financial advice, but on my profit, I'll be risking it. I'm going to be putting a short here. So fundedness is now allowing weekend holding. So I'll be risking a short from here. So based on candlesticks, looking at candlesticks right here on the weekly, market is reacting from this, but all the momentum is upward. So except you strip previous week high and sell, or on Monday we buy to 50% and sell from there. So currently we are actually bullish on the weekly time frame candlesticks. Then right here we are reacting from this fair value gap. Reacting from the fair value gap. So we have a fair value gap above also. So the market close above this high right here, then I'll know that if you close above it with a body, you're going to continue buying. That means I'm no more interested in selling anymore if you close above this high. So if you close above this high next week, I'll be taking a loss. That's what it actually means. So on the daily, this is rejecting, and rule of thumb is we should take out this low, but I don't see it happening. Then on the 4 hours, we have this. Even though this is looking like a triangle pattern pennant, so this buy is coming from this other block right here. So I don't see this thing holding. I don't see this one holding. So if it's going to sell, it should sell from the gam box, 50% of the week. It should sell from there if it's going to sell. On the 2 hours, I still do something. It's nothing much here. I go to 1 hour. Still do something. So I'll be going to my next pair, which is Usdcad. So Usdcad is paired. So is a pair that does the opposite of EURUSD. So and Gbpusd. So Usdcad is already telling us the main trend. Are we going down or are we going up? Whatever Usdcad or the XY shows, that will be the trend for next week. So here on Usdcad weekly time frame, and the weekly time frame is actually bearish because you have this range taking this out, took this out, which is the next bust stop should be this low. But there is a fair value gap here that is within the market, and I talked about it last week. So right now, this market is trying to reach up to this fair value gap. It should reach up to it before selling, but it's actually bearish. It's actually bearish, and you cannot be selling and Usdcad will be selling. It doesn't work that way. So let's look at monthly. In the monthly, I think the previous month's low was taken, but it can't be counted because this month's candle haven't closed. So something above is going to send it down. But on the daily, On the daily, we are bullish because how this can closing above this. We are bullish, and remember on the hourly time frame, the favorable gap here, so the market is reaching for that. So we are bullish for the short term on Usdcad. On the 4 hours, we have this. All these are not relatively equal. All these highs. All these highs are relatively equal highs. They serve as liquidity. It's time for the market to take out. Only 2 hours. We really have nothing much here. I took a buy here last week, and this week we just got off. And I was actually expecting this candle to sell the market, but it didn't. We should push to the upside for a little bit before selling. Usdcad's chart is always very confusing. Very confusing. So I'm going to look at the XY, just weekly direction and daily direction. So here we are on the XY. This on the weekly time frame is actually bullish. We have the previous, this is an incisive candlestick, and we have taken the range low. Here. Took the long closed inside. So range high is next. So the XY is bullish. USD is bullish in the weekly. So EURUSD and Gbpusd should sell. And on the daily, every cent we have this low. This clear, this low. This high and low is the range we are in. Let me just look at 4 hours. Then this 4 hours. I need to look for a valid change in state of delivery, but for a valid change in state of delivery for me, it will be up here, but this candle that swept have already been closed above. So this is a good confirmation actually. Let me look at 1 hour. Okay. So at 1 hour, I'll count this as a change in state of delivery. Which is confirmed that this is confirmed now that this low is protected. That doesn't mean that anything cannot happen, because it's not as if there's a security guard right here, but it swept the previous week low and changed the state of delivery from bearish to bullish. So we should buy. So my selling bias is valid, but market could still show us anything. So just expect nothing and accept everything. Trade what you see and not what you think. Thank you very much. Sickled trader here, signing out.